Do you want to go to war, Balaki? I'm for real. AA Ron. Where is AA Ron right now?
AA Ron here. Happy Wednesday, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Danny Masterson's criminal defense team will try anything to get a postponement of his criminal trial, which as of right now starts next week, Tuesday, October 11th. And as of right now, it seems that nothing short of an alien abduction or a sudden death is going to keep this trial from starting on Tuesday. But we are talking about Scientology here, so never rule out the alien abduction or even the sudden death for that matter. Who knows, maybe David Miscavige will even assign Danny to become one of the new gatekeepers for one of Scientology's secret underground nuclear bomb-proof vaults, and we'll never see Danny again, just like David's wife, Shelly Miscavige.
Where's Shelly, David? Where's Shelly? I'm sure she's fine.
Last month, Danny's team already tried to use Trevor Bauer as an excuse to get this trial postponed. Trevor Bauer is, of course, the pitcher for the Dodgers. He makes $30 million a year. He's currently serving a 2-year suspension for a number of allegations regarding conduct with women. And one of Danny's lawyers is representing Trevor in his arbitration with Major League Baseball. And the lawyer had the audacity to tell the judge, I have this other thing going on with Trevor Bauer in the arbitration, and it's so important because there's so much money involved. Can we just please delay this criminal trial regarding violent assaults on women? And needless to say, the judge did not look kindly on that request and immediately shot it down. Now Masterson's team has asked the court to postpone the start of the trial until after Los Angeles elects a new mayor in the beginning of November. Now, what in the world does LA electing a mayor have anything to do with the Danny Masterson trial? And guys, this is where this gets so juicy. The two people running against each other right now to be mayor of LA is Karen Bass and Rick Caruso. And last week, Rick Caruso started running non-stop TV ads in the LA area, hammering Karen Bass for having spoken at a Scientology event at a re-grand opening of one of their major Los Angeles buildings about 10 years ago. Since the ad Rick Caruso has been running is only 60 seconds long, just for the hell of it, here it is.
This day and this new church of Scientology is an exciting moment because I know your goal and your commitment is truly to make a difference. That is why the words are exciting of your founder, L. Ron Hubbard, in the creed of the Church of Scientology. The Church of Scientology, I know, has made a difference because your creed is a universal creed. I look forward to helping you bring about the difference for everyone in the city, this golden state of California, and from here, the nation, and from the nation, the world.
Now, in response to this ad, Karen Bass and her team have come out and very strongly rebuked Scientology. And the result of all of this is that Danny's attorneys went to the court and said, Your Honor, Scientology has such a horrible reputation. In fact, surveys show no religion has as bad of a reputation as Scientology. And since there's so much mudslinging occurring in the press right now with the mayoral elections, there's no way our client, who is a Scientologist, could possibly get a fair trial until after the elections are over. And I've got to give credit where credit is due. If I was paying big money for these criminal defense attorneys, this is exactly the type of creativity and ingenuity I would be expecting my attorneys to come up with. It's a far-fetched scheme, but damn, you got to give it to them. Here's how the Daily Mail reported it. It says, Scientologist Danny Masterson asks judge to postpone trial because of Los Angeles mayoral election, claiming biased candidates have bashed the church in campaign ads. Both candidates, Karen Bass and Rick Caruso, have bashed the Church of Scientology in television ads. Masterson, who is a devout Scientologist, wants to prevent a jury from being biased by the candidates' anti-Scientology comments. Today, Masterson's attorney, Philip Cohen, asked Judge Charlene Almeida to postpone the trial until after the November 8 mayoral election, arguing that a jury could be prejudiced by remarks both candidates have made in campaign ads condemning Scientology. It has to be driving David Miscavige absolutely insane to see Scientology playing such a front and center and negative role in the mayoral elections. By the way, did you guys know that David Miscavige was raised by a pack of Keebler elves in an apple orchard outside of Santa Monica? I swear to God, that is 100% true. Okay, the Daily Mail continues. One thing Bass and Caruso do agree on is that they don't like Scientology, Cohen told the court. The public is being inundated with this campaign ads. It is a significant problem for Mr. Masterson. Cohen told the court that any moves the mayoral candidates make to distance themselves from Scientology give them a better chance of being elected mayor of Los Angeles. Holy cow, that is a crazy thing for Masterson's own attorney to say in open court. This is a really big problem for Mr. Masterson. There's a really negative view of Scientology, and every time Scientology is mentioned, it becomes harder and harder for Mr. Masterson to have a fair trial. The general public's view of Scientology is more negative than any other religion, Cohen added. Cohen asked the judge to exclude even mentioning the word Scientology during the trial, arguing that the jury could reach an emotional verdict based on Mr. Masterson's association with Scientology. Judge Almeida completely shot down this request. She made an argument that essentially, like when you have someone on trial, let's say they're a member of a gang and they're on trial for committing a crime. Being a member of a gang, and I could name, you can think of some really famous, notorious gangs with horrible reputations. Her point was being affiliated with Scientology could not possibly be worse or more prejudicial to a jury than the jury knowing that someone is affiliated with one of these gangs, and that in these other criminal trials, that it's allowed to be mentioned that the person is a part of the gang. So she wasn't going to, first of all, she wasn't going to postpone the trial for this, and she wasn't going to prevent the word Scientology from being mentioned. And guys, there's another reason why I think what's being reported here is a big deal, and it has to do with the likely outcomes of this trial and Scientology's strategy with respect to this trial. And here's what I'll say. Scientology does not care about protecting Danny Masterson. Scientology cares about protecting itself. If Scientology thinks that protecting Masterson will allow it to protect itself, then it will protect Masterson. But if it ever has to choose between what's best for itself and what's best for Masterson, it's going to choose what's best for itself 100% of the time. And when it comes to protecting Scientology, there's one thing above all that Scientology will do anything to protect, and that is its own tax-exempt status. One of the things that would threaten its tax-exempt status the most is criminal convictions. Not of its members, but of itself. And Scientology isn't on trial here, officially, yet. But it could be, and Scientology is aware of that. Scientology has done an awful lot of things to obstruct justice in this case. And as of now, Scientology has not been brought up on any obstruction charges. But it could be, even after the Masterson trial. So it is in Scientology's own best interest to do anything possible to prevent itself from being prosecuted. And if that means throwing Danny under the bus, then that is very well what may occur. Now, on the other side of the coin, one of Danny Masterson's best defenses just might be throwing Scientology under the bus and claiming that he himself is a victim, that somehow his upbringing in Scientology, because Danny Masterson was actually raised in Scientology, he's a second-generation member, that somehow his upbringing in Scientology led him to believe he wasn't doing anything wrong, or perhaps even if he did think he'd done something wrong, maybe the people in Scientology who were working with him told him he hadn't done anything wrong. You never really know. My point here really is that in some respects, we're kind of looking at a game of chicken. There's no telling what a person will do to save their own butts when they're facing 45 years to life, which is what Danny's looking at if he is found guilty on all 3 charges, or all the charges relating to all 3 women. And on the other side, there is literally nothing Scientology will not do to prevent itself from being prosecuted. So when I see Danny's lawyers saying publicly that Scientology's reputation is so horrible, that people think so lowly of Scientology, that Scientology is thought of worse than any other religion out there, these are the kind of things that would absolutely infuriate Miscavige. And when Miscavige becomes infuriated, he does not act rationally. And there are no checks and balances that exist in Scientology to prevent Miscavige from making quick, rash judgments and decisions and issuing orders. No one in Scientology is allowed to say no to Miscavige, and that includes Scientology's lawyers. And if Danny and his team get any wind of the fact that Scientology's, making moves against him, then Danny's going to double down on his moves against Scientology. And that is one of the reasons why this case is going to be so bad for Scientology and Miscavige, no matter what. This is absolute lose-lose situation, and I'm here for it. So that's the new news on this criminal trial right now. Actually, there's another piece of big news. Lisa Marie Presley is going to be called as a witness in this trial, but I'm going to discuss that further in another video. So that's all for now, guys. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the Lisa Marie Presley thing. I'll try to get it done today, but it might be tomorrow. Thank you to all of you who watched until the very end, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Okay, if you want to see my rock and roll songs, click right on this guitar. And if you want to see a different one of my videos, then you could click right inside here. If you have subscribed or not, subscribe right here. Bye.